Hello everyone, it is Dominic here, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A video. So this is actually going to be like my part 2, because I made one a few months ago. If you haven't seen it yet, please check it out. The link is like on the screen somewhere here. So yeah, I made a Q&A about being an exchange student in Japan and all of my different experiences at school. So that was what that video was about. But this time I'm going to be talking about like life in Japan in general. So I've got like loads of questions you guys have asked me, and I haven't really answered them recently, so I am sorry about that. But yeah, I'm making this video now, and I'm going to just try and answer them as best as I can. So, without further ado. So the very first question is, have you been enjoying the food? And I've actually been asked this by quite a few people, so I'm guessing there is like quite an interest in Japanese food compared to Western food. And I don't know, people panicking about, will they be able to eat it? Will they not be able to eat it? Will it be like really disgusting or not? But do not worry. So first of all, I'm going to admit that I am a very picky eater. Like, I don't really eat that much meat, and just in general with my eating habits, I am not someone who can just be given anything and then just eat it. Unfortunately, I am very picky. But since coming to Japan, like, I've noticed that food generally has been fine with me. One thing that's different between the UK and Japan with food is that in Japan you don't have like one big plate with like all your food on it, which is what we have in the UK. You have your bowl of rice, and you have your, like, all your little different kazu, which are your like side dishes. So a lot of the time it's like all in the middle of the table, and then you just take what you want to eat, and that's that. I think generally speaking, Japanese food is quite different to Western food. They eat a lot more fish. They eat, I think our main like staple meat is chicken, whereas in Japan it is pork. So they eat a lot more pork than I eat at home. They eat a lot less chicken than I eat at home. But I think with Japanese food, you just sort of have to be open to trying new things, because it is quite different from food that I'm used to at home, and there will be things that you have never tried before, and you just have to try them and get that experience, I guess. Just like last week, and my host mother gave me jellyfish and didn't tell me until after I'd eaten it. That was literally like the most disgusting thing that I've ever eaten. I thought it was like, I don't even know what I thought it was, but I'm not going to start talking about that now, because it just like sends chills down my spine. Next is, what is your favourite store in Japan? My favourite store in Japan has to be a store called Book Off. Book Off is basically a giant chain of second-hand bookstores, but that doesn't just sell books, it also sells DVDs, it sells games, it sells CDs, all that sort of stuff, and it is very, very, very cheap. And they also sell like new manga, but it's all sort of like all really, really discounted. They sell like volumes for like 100 yen, 200 yen, so you can buy entire series for like crazy cheap amount of money. So yeah, that is definitely my favourite store. I actually recorded a video there last week, and I'm currently editing it. We'll hopefully upload it next week or this week. But yeah, subtitles take ages to put on, so it's taken ages. But it should be ready soon. So yes, Book Off is my favourite store in Japan. Next is, what is my favourite place in Japan? So I've travelled like not loads around Japan, but I've been to more places in Japan than I have in my home country, which is kind of weird. But yeah, my favourite place definitely has to be Kyoto, because living in Tokyo you see all like the modern stuff and skyscrapers, and I guess really like the image of a big modern day city, like all those lights and just everything sprawling, and just that is Tokyo. But Kyoto I found is like really, really different. Like it gives you that actual real sense of like traditional Japan, but at the same time you've still got like some modernness. Is that even a word? But yeah, Kyoto is definitely my favourite place in Japan. It's really historical and old, and it's got like really, really cool temples like Kinkakuji and Ginkakuji. And also, since it's in the Kansai area, you're near Osaka, which is another big city like Tokyo. You're also near Nara, which is like another small towny place. And you're near Kobe and all of like the southern part of Japan. So yeah, Kyoto is my favourite place in Japan. Next question was, what is one thing you miss from the UK? So when I left the UK to come to Japan, there wasn't really anything that I thought I would be missing dearly, because I wasn't really attached to anything that much back home, and I thought, well, pretty much everything that I have there I'm sure I can get here and whatever. So I wasn't really worried about missing anything that much. But 5 months have passed, and I have realised that there is one thing that I miss more than anything: central heating. In Japan, winters are cold, and Japanese houses have this wonderful habit of not having like heating. What they will have is heaters in each individual room. So you have your little remote, you turn on your heater, and that is your room heated up. But the second you leave your room, it is absolutely freezing. The corridors are freezing. It's like each individual room is like really warm, and then the corridors are just hell. So that was one thing that I definitely missed from the UK, central heating. Like, I took it for granted, because now like I come to Japan and every morning you have to turn the heaters on. Like, you go into the kitchen and you like think you're gonna die of like frostbite because it is just so cold. So it's currently March. It's starting to warm up very, very slowly. I think it's gonna be like the sakura are gonna be blossoming soon, which is gonna be really cool. Like my first ever Japanese spring, so that's gonna be amazing. But yeah, it's slowly getting warmer, which I'm very, very grateful for, because I cannot deal with just the coldness inside Japanese houses. It's like, it's difficult to explain until you've actually experienced like waking up in the morning in a freezing cold house. It's just not great. But yeah, that is just what Japanese houses are like. Each individual room is heated, corridors are absolutely freezing. Same actually applies for school as well. So yeah, central heating is something that I definitely miss. And finally, what are some basic manners you should know before coming to Japan? So if you do not know, Japan is sort of like a society where manners and politeness play a very big role in society. So you're going to want to make sure that you get your manners at least partially correct, so that you don't stand out as being a really stupid foreigner. So 1, holding your bowl when you eat. In Japan, as I said earlier, you don't have like one big plate where you have your food. You have like loads of different bowls and plates. Whereas in like the UK, we just have all our food on one plate. So when we eat, we like, the plate is on the table, you hold your knife and fork and you just eat like that. In Japan, you have your chopsticks and you have your bowl. And for like ages, until really recently actually, like I would just sit there and just like eat like this with the bowl on the table. And then it was like a few weeks ago when they're like to me, in Japan it's actually rude if you don't at least like touch your bowl when you eat. So I'm going like, this is a bowl, or let's just like pretend it's a bowl. It's actually like British English breakfast loose leaf tea. This is so British. So let's pretend that this Harrods tea tin is a bowl. When you eat in Japan, if you have your bowl on the table, you have to put one hand on the bowl and then eat with the chopsticks. Or what is usually preferred is for you to actually pick up the bowl, hold it and like eat like this. So that was definitely strange for me, because what I was just doing is like I would leave it on the table and just like eat like this, and then they'd be saying to me, it's actually rude if you do that. I don't know the reasons why, but it's just rude. So with your bowl, make sure you have at least one hand in it, or you pick it up and eat. Number 2, leaving your chopsticks like sticking in your bowl. So you might have heard or you might not have heard, but leaving your chopsticks in your bowl is considered rude, and so it's probably better for you to actually leave your chopsticks at the side, or leave your chopsticks like on top of the bowl. Recently, like, I've seen a lot of young people especially, like, they tend to just ignore this and like, yeah, I don't care, I'm gonna be a rebel, and they like stick their chopsticks inside their bowl, like just standing up, whatever. But it's considered rude, so it's probably better for you to try and leave the chopsticks at the side. Next manner is not related to food, it is with like public transport. So in Japan, on public transport, there are a number of like unspoken rules that you need to follow. One of them, do not be loud. I think generally speaking in Japan, being loud in public is not seen as a good thing, because you're drawing attention to yourself, and in Japanese society you don't really want to be standing out, because like that whole idea of standing out is not something that's very Japanese. You want to sort of like blend in and be the same as everyone else, which is already going to be difficult if you're foreign. So don't like try and make yourself stand out even more by being loud. This especially applies in like trains and like buses. You will see on trains that it's just like dead quiet. There's just no sound, which at the start I thought was quite strange. And then I went back to the UK in December and I was like, why are the trains so loud? So yeah, don't be loud on trains. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, then please do let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, then please do subscribe. It will encourage me to make more videos in the future. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.